Hi folks, it's time for the most exciting comic book videos you're ever gonna see. Look at this. This box is A to I. So we start at the beginning, and I have two videos that I'm gonna make. One is A to I, and the other is J to Z. So it couldn't get any crazier.
The entire alphabet.
Yes, let's see how this one goes. And right off the bat, great stuff. Action Comics. First issue that John Byrne did. And look at that. There's the second issue that John Byrne did for Action Comics.
There's John Byrne.
He's a well-known artist from the 80s. He did the Man of Steel reboot of Superman, and then did Action Comics and Superman for, I think, about 20 or so issues. Did the writing and art. Very good guy. Good stuff. There's more John Byrne. I have so much of this stuff. If you're interested in John Byrne Superman comics, by all means, please contact me. Now, this is Adventures of Superman. This is the first issue. What they did was they renumbered the original Superman series for some reason and started it at 1. And then they changed the numbering of Superman, which ended with 423. They made 424 the Adventures of Superman. So I don't know why they didn't just make Adventures of Superman #1 and continue the numbering on Superman. But whatever, who knows? That's fine. Reign of Superman. This is an issue after the Death of Superman issues. So this is another copy of Adventures of Superman later in the run.
You mean like an issue where Superman died, or like the Death of Superman issues being written?
No, it was the Death of Superman where Doomsday appeared and then 4 issues later killed Superman. So that was around the time that Batman's back was broken, so DC was really trying to shake things up. But neither one stuck.
But did Bane show up?
Bane had at least been a character before that. So so this is Aliens, an old Dark Horse Aliens book. So this one might be a little bit more rare than the usual kind of stuff. You might not see that as often, but then again, I say that having, you know, what,
4 copies
four copies of this issue. So maybe this issue isn't as rare, or maybe it's just that I have all 4 issues so that are available. Here's Alpha Flight, more John Byrne goodness. This is a John Byrne Marvel book called Alpha Flight, #4. That's #9. Looks like the Thing in the foreground here, the Thing's arm. So yeah, there's more Alpha Flight issues. Angel Love. I don't remember much about this title, but just another DC. Looks like they were experimenting with some different types of comic books, which is pretty cool. Archie versus Predator 2, which is crazy but still awesome. And here are some Avengers issues. This is from the first series of Avengers, number 251, and this is from the relaunched edition of the Avengers. I think this might actually be volume 3. This is the Kurt Busiek, George Perez Avengers, which is absolutely worth getting because the story and art are just incredible. And George Perez and John Byrne are 2 of the best artists that were working in those days. If this is Alan Davis, which I'm pretty sure it is, then he's also a really great artist. So those Avengers, that Avengers relaunch really benefited from some great talent. Here's an issue with Kang, who I think had been rumored to be showing up in one of the Avengers movies, but I'm not sure if he ever show up in the Marvel Universe. But
I think he did. Who's he associated with?
The Avengers primarily, but I mean, I haven't seen anything after much.
But like which Avenger? The Black Panther, maybe? I feel like he sent. Oh wait, no, hang on, Kang.
He may very well have shown up. My familiarity with the more recent Marvel universe is pretty thin, so I don't know if he showed up and I just didn't know about it. So
definitely
it's entirely possible.
He definitely showed up in a recent Marvel, or well, a relatively recent Marvel movie.
Now this is one that could be very interesting. This is Avengers and Thunderbolts, and now that there's a Thunderbolts movie.
Is Kang like an uber powerful being who got banished to the quantum realm or something like that?
Maybe
he might have been in Quantumania.
That sounds like something that they might have done with him, because there's also been rumors that he's supposed to be like the future self of Doctor Doom. So
I think he's in Quantumania.
All right, that sounds right. So this is Avengers Thunderbolts. So of course I have Avengers Thunderbolts 1 and Avengers Thunderbolts 6. So anybody looking for a complete series, I may be able to help you, but I probably have to dig into some more boxes. But I have them if you're interested. Now, here's Azrael #1. And some folks might remember, there was a series called Sword of Azrael, which was a guy who was an enemy of Batman. And then after Batman's back was broken, he actually took over the Batman's identity for a while. but this is him in his own series. So here we go again. I have 6 copies of, maybe 7 copies of number 1. So if you're looking for number 1, I have it. Here's number 2. I have a bunch of these too. So this is
I
number...
did not break every bone in the Batman's body. I guarantee you, I broke his spirit.
Ah, that's from the 2005 cartoon, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Azrael 10. So anyway, these are a bunch of Azrael issues. It's 16, so this box jumps around quite a bit, so that makes it a little more interesting,
Basilisk.
I think. Yeah, Basilisk. I don't know much about this series, and I don't even know what number this is, because it must be on the other side of the book. But that was I think that came out in like 2020 or 2019, or although I could be wrong about that. So, but anyway, it's relatively new. Batman and Robin, Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. Grant Morrison's great, so it's definitely worth looking at. This is the relaunched Captain America. This is, I think, Volume 2. James Robinson. I believe that Rob Liefeld had started the series, but this is issue 10 where James Robinson took over. So that was after the Liefeld issues, but it's that same series. So this is another Robinson issue, number 13. Here's some issues of Carnage, who was made from Venom, so they're another one of the Venom spin-offs. And this is Cerebus, a highly underrated series, very funny, kind of started as a parody of Conan the Barbarian as an aardvark, but it evolved into just a really well-written and funny series, at least for the first 100 or so issues.
Even if the writer misspelled the title.
There's actually a story about that. It was supposed to be called Cerberus, but it was sent to the printer spelled as Cerebus, and he just decided to go with it. Dark Avengers by Brian Michael Bendis. There's a lot of good talent in here. Darkhawk, which featuring the New Warrior. So there's Nova. Some people might remember him from the movies. And yeah, so there's always some good stuff. So there's a couple of issues of Darkhawk in here. Looks like Venom is featured in that one, number 37. I hear that the higher numbers of Darkhawk are a little bit more scarce, so maybe more valuable. And here's DC Comics Presents. There were several team-up books in the 70s and 80s. It started with Marvel Team-Up with Spider-Man, then Marvel 2-in-1 with The Thing, and of course DC also had Superman, Batman, and World's Finest. And then they had the Batman team-up book, which was Brave and the Bold. And this is the Superman team-up book, which is called DC Comics Presents, although I usually just refer to it as DC Presents. So anyway, so this is Superman and Red Tornado. That's issue number 7. And that's number 20. I have a lot of these. Superman and Green Arrow. That's Elongated Man. So there's Commandy.
Elongated Man.
Yeah, Commandy and Phantom Stranger and the Joker. Clark Kent, Ambush Bug. This one's hilarious. This one's definitely worth getting if you see it in boxes. It's definitely worth the read. It's very funny. Supergirl. Here's Elastic 4. So there's 4 stretchy characters, include looks like Elastic Man and Elongated Man at the very least. And the last issue, Superman and the Phantom Zone Criminals. And then, of course, here's Annuals. Superwoman, that's number 2. And here's DC Special, 3 Musketeers and Robin Hood. And here's the first issue of The Demon. I seem to have a lot of number 1s. This is Superior 4. It's a Spider-Man related title. Number 2 and 3. This is Dr. Fate, The Immortal Dr. Fate by Marty Pascoe and Walt Simonson. Interesting stuff. That's number 1. 2, I believe I have... Okay, that's number 3. So if I only have the first 3. There's 4 issues in total. This is Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme.
Who does he dare to challenge?
Eternity. Doom Patrol, another series by Grant Morrison. So very interesting. Dream War, that's number 2 by Keith Giffen. And Keith Giffen is always worth a read. He writes really great stuff. This is the Dr. Fate series, DeMatteis and Keith Giffen. Really good stuff. They did some really great Justice League issues. This is DV8 by Warren Ellis. So Warren Ellis is another great. There's so many good writers represented in this box. And Warren Ellis has a couple of issues there. And of course, Elektra Assassin. I mean, this one is another one. Frank Miller and Bill Sienkiewicz did this. This is excellent stuff. Elektra, of course, is a character from the Daredevil series, and she got her own series. I think this is late 86. Yeah, August 1986. The art in here is, at first, it's a little jarring, but you know, by the time you get into reading, the story is so good, you just kind of forget about it, and then you appreciate the art for it's very high quality art. It just takes some getting used to because it's not as conventional as the usual comic book art. But
it's good to have your own style, though.
Yeah, it's really great stuff. I mean, it took me a while to get used to it, but you know, once I did, I started to appreciate it for what it is. It's just really inventive, but it is a little bit, at the time, it's a bit of a shock. But it's very, very good. The story is excellent, and the art is excellent, too. I believe that I have a complete series, even though I seem to be missing 5 and 6 in this box, but I think I have a complete series somewhere. Here's Fallen Angel, of course. I mean, how many times can I say how much I love Peter David? But there he is again, Peter David. So, you know, it goes without saying that I would highly recommend this. These are reprints. This is the first appearance of Black Panther in Fantastic Four 52, which was back in the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby days.
Oh.
Yeah. And this is a reprint of, I think, the first appearance of Ronan, which is Fantastic Four 65.
How do you know they're reprints?
Because they say True Believers at the top. And this one is, this one's definitely a facsimile. The price is the giveaway on this one, but you know, this one's just in way too good
Would
shape.
it originally have been like 5 cents or something?
Maybe 12 cents, but this copy is way too clean and nice. I mean, if this was a real copy of 52, it would probably be quite ratty. So, so it's definitely a reprint. So here's another new #1 issue of the Fantastic Four. This was the relaunch series, I believe, in around 1998. Oh, there it is, January 1998. So, yeah, Marvel did a lot of relaunching of titles at that time. Ed Brubaker, yet another excellent writer, and Sean Phillips with some great art. So, you know, I seem to just be repeating myself a lot. Fatale, an excellent series. This is Frontline, a Civil War. This is Paul Jenkins, another really good writer. Janice Vell, Peter David. This is related to Captain Marvel, so that's good stuff there.
Oh, nice.
Gotham Central. I believe I've covered Gotham Central a little bit by Greg Rucka, another great writer. I mean, I feel like a broken record just talking about this stuff. This is Steve Englehart. This is part of the Green Lantern series from the 60s and 70s.
So it goes into the Green Lantern Corps, it says.
Yeah. It's Green Lantern, then Green Lantern, Green Arrow, then back to Green Lantern, then to Green Lantern Corps. So it's all part of the same title. This is the relaunched Green Lantern in, I believe this was like 2015 or 2014 by Grant Morrison. Worth getting. And there were 2 series. This is season 2. The first one I showed you was season 1. This is Grendel, which is a series that was written by Matt Wagner, who's done many great things, including Mage. He did Grendel, and he did some Batman covers. He's just an all-around.
Is it about Beowulf?
Sort of. I think the name is just taken from Beowulf, but other than that, I don't think there's much connection to Beowulf. Hercules, got it. House of M, which is a Astonishing X-Men New Avengers crossover, and that's a variant cover. Infinite Crisis #1. Here's Infinite Crisis. What is an alternate? I can't remember which one is the variant cover. Maybe they neither own those. Maybe they're both just covers. It's #2. So this ends with Infinite Crisis 3 and Infinite Crisis 6. And this video is very long, so I hope you stayed in tune for the whole thing. But I think there's a lot of great stuff in there. And if you have any questions or want to hear more or see if I have more of those titles, then please let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.